Hey everyone, it's ArtzDeeva, and this time, I'm doing it. I'm ripping the band-aid off, I'm starting a new chapter in the book, I am making some new stuff this year, god damn it. Only took me a couple years. Since finishing Left 4 Dead: The Return, I've made a couple videos where I've sworn that I would move on to original projects and other things, but the truth is, I've been afraid to move on, because working on new, especially a lot of original things, is scary. Creating an audience around it takes time, and when I'm on a full-time work schedule, I don't have all the time in the world that I did with the Left 4 Dead series. But as I've said before, I want to work on new stuff. 2025's the year that finally happens. To go over what to expect, allow me to talk about it while drawing fake movie posters for these ideas as I do so. Also for Left 4 Dead fans, don't worry. I think I'll keep up the tradition of anniversary specials. It may not always be new scenes like my last one, but I think even remasters would be a fun thing to do from time to time. First off, remember Danger Glam? No? That's fine, I know it wasn't a high-performing video. Anyways, Danger Glam is a concept I'm gonna explore more of this year. Maybe I'll have a zine, however you pronounce it, or a PDF of pieces available at the end of the year or something. We'll see, but if you want a more in-depth run over what Danger Glam is, go check out the video I made a few months ago. This will probably be the most story-light project I work on this year, as in it's less like the Left 4 Dead series and more like Kane Pixel's videos that explore the backrooms. You know, dropping new environments, sometimes following some characters, all that stuff. I'm keeping Danger Glam's story light on purpose because I don't want to focus on story as much with this concept. I want to focus on aesthetic and building up my illustration skills. And yeah, I'd like to have some kind of small book or something for it at the end of the year. It might just have to be digital for the moment, but long term, I'd really like to have a nice physical book for sale sometime. That's Danger Glam. What next? Chess. No, not the musical. This chess. If any of my OG subscribers are still here, shout out to you by the way, then they'll remember chess as one of my first original concepts I brought to this channel. It's the inner lives of pieces on a chessboard. That's it. And we see them in human form. I even made a whole hybrid live-action animatic short film for my community college film festival. It won the Best Animatic Award. Some of the cast and crew for this short film helped me on the Left 4 Dead hand intro, by the way. When I originally was working on the chess concept, it was going to be this epic story about this chess set trying to avoid war with each other. After so many years of players filling the White King's head with desire, ambition, and strategy, he started losing his grip on his own mind. He started viewing his friend the Black King and his kingdom as threats, and it would all end in a big climatic battle where eventually the White King comes back to reason and the two sides can be one again. I still want to do that, but I've also been gravitating towards a version of the concept that, by comparison, feels boring, but would be sweet to work on. It would literally just be the board being used in-game, and then the pieces just living their daily lives in between games. Just cozily, happily existing together. Maybe even an educational element where viewers, and myself, would get educated on chess moves with the characters? Why not have both? I'm gonna incorporate my creative indecisiveness over intense drama or cozy vibes into the concept, so we'll constantly go back and forth between the narrative-based version of chess and the peaceful version of chess. I'll also get to explore more possibilities with characters that way too. Like in the narrative version, for example, a couple of characters might be in a romantic relationship, but in the chill version, they may just be friends, or vice versa. Cause as an ace who loves romantic relationships and stories, but also needs more friendships and stories, I want to have my damn cake and eat it too. And who knows, maybe I'll do another hybrid style short film in the future. Also, you should check out the bloopers for the short film. How we pulled it off, I don't know.
Are you actually joking?
No, we're so close to the end. What happened? I was totally the link is right there. So that's chess, right? Next, we've got a webcomic, or a video series, or a webcomic and video series? I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but its name is Lena. This story is as old as the Left 4 Dead series, dating as early back as 2016. The story started off as more of a reaction to Don Bluth's Thumbelina movie more than anything. It was reacting to the horrible things that happened to Thumbelina and then everyone's disregard for her happiness and well-being. Then I started incorporating more elements from the original fairy tale to make it something a little more nuanced. But as the years have gone by, I've finally walked away from that original inspiration with a completely original story of my own. You'd really have to squint your eyes to see any ties to Thumbelina. I'm still fleshing out the story, but the basic premise I have is this. Lena is a house elf born and raised in the house elf community of a human village. She dreams of running her own clothing atelier, but after a changeling scare, the humans drive out and nearly kill all the house elves out of the village. So Lena goes to the meadow, where the flower folk reside. But even after becoming the king's royal clothier, Lena is still unhappy and yearns for a place to call home and build her life in. After a series of events that I don't have time to get into right now, Lena finds herself escaping the dungeons and running into the nearby woods, and with the help of some locals, she must find her way to the heart of the forest before the winter begins. And if that weren't enough, someone from her castle life wants her back. Dang, that's the first time in 9 years I've been able to summarize the story. Anyway, yeah, if there was something to follow up the Left 4 Dead series in scale, story, and part of my artist identity, it would be Lena. I'd like it to be a webcomic. Only thing is I'm horribly out of practice, and I need to find a way of making comics that works for me. Fortunately, Clip Studio, not sponsored, will help with that, but there's still a lot more experimenting to do, which is why I'm also toying around with the idea of making it another animatic series like Left 4 Dead: The Return. But I also like the idea of making it a comic and then eventually kickstarting physical volumes of it. I really am more indecisive than I let on, huh? I'll probably make it into a webcomic format, but I will create plenty of videos for it that it makes it feel as substantial as the Left 4 Dead series. I feel like I'm throwing a lot at you guys right now, so before I wrap up, here's a couple honorable mention concepts that will get worked on this year, but maybe not to the extent of the others. Honorable mention number 1, Desultory. Inspired by a dream, the world lives without the sun, and a girl is blessed by the sun to restore it to her land and take down the baddie who hid the sun in the first place. Wow, that made a lot of sense. She's also accompanied by her best friend. Or love interest? I don't know what I want them to be. Honorable mention number 2, Weird Dreams Theater. What it says on the tin. I draw, /animate, /animaticate my dreams. Maybe your dreams too, if it gets popular enough. It'll be Drawfee-esque most of the time, but every once in a while I might do some specials with extra detail, which speaking of, honorable mention number 3, Dark Fairy Tale Thingy. Inspired, again, by a dream, a weird fusion of Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, and my subconscious. More details to come. Okay, I think that's all of them. The last major thing I'll work on for the channel this year is not my own concept. Not even a little bit. But like Left 4 Dead, it's fun, and it would help me grow my skills. And that's freaking Baldur's Gate 3 videos! I made another underperforming video about my experience so far with the game, but guys, Baldur's Gate 3 became my life last summer. Out of curiosity, I picked up the game and then devoted over 200 hours and counting to it. And outside of being fun, the game has given me a lot of inspiration for storytelling and characters. But what kind of Baldur's Gate 3 videos will I make? Like my chess concept, they'll be divided into 2 categories. Number 1, Chronicles of Dirge, and number 2, Funsies. Chronicles of Dirge will be the more serious videos. These will be scenery creation, alteration, addition, animatics, animations, all that good stuff. The funsies will be all the silly or non-chronicle ideas I come up with. They can be about silly things that happen in-game or as a player experiencing it, or even parodying moments. You know, a place for fun stuff. But yeah, that's what to expect with Baldur's Gate 3 videos. I've been wanting to make drawings, animatics, comics, and animations about my adventures in the game, and now I'll finally do that. While I also finish the game before doing a patch 8 run. Whew. You guys overwhelmed? In a tizzy? Don't worry, we've reached the end of the video. Y'all can relax now. Yeah, that is all I've wanted to work on for years now. We're finally making it happen. I hope at least 1 or 2 of these projects stirs your interest. I'll give more updates as I start to develop the concepts, and I'll let you know what kinds of things I make out of them. If you want to stick around for any of the chaos, consider subscribing to stay in the loop, and comment which projects interest you the most. Eventually, I'll share a lot of stuff about this on my website, but I gotta work on renovating that first. A lot of work to be done. That's the main theme of this whole video. But I hope you're excited for it, because I sure am. That's all for now. ArtzDeeva over and out.